Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Radina Ambarlarasati. I'm from PBI 6A. I would like to presentation about ELT in Indonesian context, issues and challenges by Rahmat Yusni. Okay, the background. Why Indonesia takes teaching of English so seriously? Is Indonesia also being imbibed into English linguistic empire as a form neo-imperialism? Are local English teachers in Indonesia aware of the issue of linguistic imperialism of English in the area of ELT? Everybody should be inevitably agree that, as today, English is the most successful language on the world. Non-English speaking nations have widely opened their door to allow English to be used in almost every aspect of their life. The number of English users increased very significantly. That in 2005, the estimation of the user was between 840 million to 1.34 billion. The number was the sum of both the number of users who speak English as first language and those who speak English as second language. Interestingly, users of English as second language convert the user of English as first language, which English as L1 is 25 and 40%, and English as L2 is 16 as 75%. The development of English as a global language links with the history of how English met across the globe. If we trace track back or throw back, it was believed that English global spread was through the Mahor diasporas. The first diaspora was during by large-scale migration to the North America beginning in 16th century. The second diaspora was beginning in the late 18th century by the expansion of British colonial power to Africa, India, and South Pacific. Hence, both access of the global spread of English in the two diaspora suggests as the English become powerful today, multiplying the number of users because it was supported by globalization, which is dominated by the Western hegemony through trading and the influence trend and culture. Therefore, teaching industry dominated by Mahor English-speaking countries such as Britain, the USA, Australia, and others. Is an essentially political activity which might be likened to a form of linguistic imperialism. Next step is a discussion history of the global spread of English. English in different parts of the world is inevitably fast. To seek into how English managed to travel around the globe, meeting with its unprecedented user, perhaps it can be briefing for ELT practitioners to stress English back into its origin. Apart from the debate whether English in its original roots is Romanic or Germanic. Some claim its Germanic root. It can be traced as far as the fifth country. Once it mentions that not until 1066, after the Norman invasions, many important people of England fled north and eventually settled in Scotland. The next important expansion of English language is in 1607, during the first settlement of English expedition in the land across the Atlantic Sea to North America. The earliest English permanent settlement is called Jamestown in Virginia, and later English settlements spread across the coast of today United States of America. Those with remain of America after 80 and 40, continuously many immigrants enter the United States due to famine in most European countries. Of those with remarkable numbers were the Irish immigration, the growth of population in United States until the growth of English speakers, in which within one of two generations of several of arrival, most of these immigration families had come to speak English through a natural process of assimilation. English is the Southeast Asia countries. English language later develops greatly in Asian countries. As of today, claims the number of English users in Asia exceed the combined population of inner circle of English. The dominant numbers of users came from the expanding circle, while the number from the outer circle seconded the expanding circle. The dominant numbers of the expanding circle are from China and India, in which all add up approximately 533 million. However, in the context of Asia, Kahru includes Australia and New Zealand as the learner circle countries, which illustrate in the following figure. Indonesia is a part of the Southeast Asia countries. The countries participate as a number of regional organizations called the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN, that established in 80 and 47. 80 and 1867. Besides Indonesia, the members of the organization are Brunei, Cambodia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, the Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. These countries communicate with each other using English, and therefore the described English used in the context as de facto lingua franca. The term English as lingua franca has been used as a way of referring to communication in English between speakers with different first language. The Asian country member delegates accepted using English as a medium of communication is acclamation. However, it is true that this language choice privilege member countries that use English as their second language, who are the countries that inherit English from formerly being colonies of the British and the American. Linguistic imperialism, foreign policy to maintain the imperial power of the British and the American. Regardless, this is feasible any nation, whether voluntary by or not, willing to adopt English. In a long time, there is a hidden agenda believed to be placed in the initiative of spreading the language. Philipson was very conscientious in bringing this to the nation. For instance, Philipson claimed that British and American promotion of English across the world imposed a set of agenda to maintain power and dominance, giving the sense of maintaining and developing economic stability in the Third World was claimed to be among the greatest concern to the British Empire. He argued that in the very long term, we have no doubt that the work of British Council, especially in regard to the teaching of English in Asia, will be highly beneficial to our overseas trade. In addition, the learning of English was also proposed to promote beyond instrumental needs. A knowledge of English gives rise in its turn to desire to read books, text to British people, talk to British people, and learn about British life or some aspect of it. America, independently, according to Chomsky, intends to proclaim strategy for their political stability by aiming the undertake the responsibility of world leadership and building a strategy for world hegemony. Aside from the Security Council report of April 1950, the main aims to foster a world environment in which the American system can survive and flourish. Hence, among the initiatives is language promotion as a part of the American global strategy. That similar strategy was also used during the time of American occupation in the Philippines. America introduced English as a medium of instruction, and America textbook to enable the people of the Philippines to learn a new language as well as new way of life. Philippine way of life. Consequently, the Philippines become dependent on the new language along with the dominant ideology and political economic interests of the U.S. English Indonesian education during the Dutch colonial and today. English has been taught in Indonesian since the era of Dutch colonial period. However, the access to education for the locals was very rare. The Dutch policy in establishing education in Indonesia is exclusively for themselves and some of the important local officials. English was first taught to Indonesian in 1815 when junior high school were established. After gaining independence from the Dutch in August 1945, the government of Indonesia started to surface their concern regarding language policy. It was clearly from the initial steps of establishing independence of the country, Bahasa Indonesia has been chosen as the national language when the youth representation from different regions of Indonesia commit to the Sumpah Pemuda or Youth Pledge in October 19 and 28. Therefore, the Indonesian Constitution of 1945 verse 36 condivid Bahasa Indonesia as the official language, abandoned the language of the colonials, the Dutch. They were told to take English as the second language at the time due to cooperating with the neighboring countries that inherit English from their colonials, as such as Malaysia, Singapore, and Philippines. Darjo Wijoyo point out that the idea was not feasible because Indonesia has not been a colony of either British or America, and thus Indonesia never had any establishment upon using English in official or public settings. Therefore, by that time onward, English was recognized as the first foreign language of the country and used as means for international communication to access scientific knowledge and new technology as a lexical resource for the development and modernization of Indonesian, and as a way to get to know the learn and learn about the native speaker, their language, culture, literature are expanding one intellectual horizon. English as the first foreign language of Indonesia. Although English was not deliberately introduced to the Indonesian society, it's a second language. Most of Indonesians today will agree that English is perceived as the most important other language, considering that most of Indonesian population is Muslim. Therefore, the need of learning Arabic is inevitably compulsory due to requirement of the prayer and reciting of the Quran and other Islamic texts. However, this has been seconded by most of Muslims in Indonesia and placed to need to English above Arabic, may other foreign languages as well. Nevertheless, the variant of English in Indonesian as an EVL or English as foreign language is not endonormative and has no official status, therefore remain dependent on the norm set by ENL or English as native language speaker from the inner circle. The impact of the globalization toward Indonesian foreign language policy. In regard of competition in globalizations, Indonesian from my point of view struggles very hard to participate. Here I quote the definition from that global is shifting from local control to become global. Fox also mentioned that business in this age must be able to compete globally, in which the claim existence of global market impose everyone to simply compete with everyone else. Fox at that economic globalization can be seen as the last version of capitalism. In order to compete with the other nation, English is inevitably a primary tool in the economic war for communication and negotiation. It puts the position of Indonesia equal to any other nation as both trader and consumer. However, due to the relentless political issues and unstable economy, perhaps we should be more concerned that Indonesia will be likely less as mere consumers of the global market. A part of my skeptical in this issue I would like to propose a great argument from my observation that the Indonesian society tends to be inconsistent in terms of appreciating value. Indonesian is more of global, trend oriented and possess a relatively high culture of consumerism. Therefore, Indonesian can be as easy targeted consumers of global products. Developed countries on the contrary, on production and trade. Therefore, they may have abundance of product in a global. Conclusion. As I have rendered earlier in this paper, the Indonesian policy and foreign enjoys, especially on English language, teaching requires special attention. We may surrender to the historic evidence of how hegemonic in the international of the expansion of English at the time was. Nevertheless, global spread of English today is different scales, which therefore requires a complete different attitude. We need to realize being the extended circle, meaning that we have option whether acknowledging English for our development purpose of the external purpose. Thank you for me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.